Hi, my friends. Today I am bringing you a what I inked for the month of May. So this is my ink and pen journal, and every time I ink up a new pen, I write the date, the pen that I've inked up, and the ink that I'm using, and I put a little swatch right next to it right there. I've been using this journal since 2020, and here we go. The first pen I inked up this month was my Gin House Century. I inked it with J. Harban, Emerald of Chivor. It has a fine nib, and this is one of my very favorite pens in my collection. The second pen I inked up was my Wingsung 699 in a fine nib, and I inked it up with Diamine Twilight. It has a dual tone fine nib there, and I enjoyed writing with this pen. The next pen I inked up was my Ferris Wheel Press brush pen in the Lord Evergreen color, and I inked it up with Linen Toolbar Mucha Goddess Iron Tea. And so that was fun to write with. So the next pen I inked up again was the same pen I inked up before. I switched out the inks and I inked up my Wingsung 699 with Vinta Inks Harlequin Vaudeville. The next pen was my Sailor Pro Gear Slim with a 14 karat gold nib, and I inked that up with Diamine Ancient Copper. I noticed that it has a it's a very hard nib, very thin line. The next pen I inked up was my Quebeco Sport in Macchiato, and I inked it up with Monteverde Joy Sepia. It's a fine nib, and I enjoy writing with this nib. I did smooth it to make it more wet, and I like it better now. My next pen was my Jinhao X750 in cream in a medium nib, and I inked it up with Harban Poissure de Lune. I'm not sure. I want to say Poissure, but I'm sure it's probably something different. Next was a gift to me. I was gifted by an anonymous penifactor this beautiful Pilot Custom 823 in amber. Yes, I was gifted this pen. I'm going to do an entire video on what this penifactor gifted to me, and that will come at a later date. It is a medium nib, and as you can see, it needs to be inked up again, and this pen is going to be making a comeback several times in this video. I absolutely love this. It is now my new favorite pen. Next was my Quebeco Student in Vintage Blue, which was also gifted to me by the exact same penifactor. You know who you are. Thank you so much. I sent you another letter in the mail, by the way, so be expecting that soon, and another gushing thank you letter. But this pen is absolutely great. I used Birmingham Pen Company Heron in it, and it was a joy to write with. A Binu Friendly Chameleon. This was also gifted to me by the same penifactor. I know, you may get tired of hearing how many pens she gifted me, but I absolutely love it. I inked this with Diatramentus Petrol, and it was so much fun to write with. I really enjoyed this pen very, very much. The next pen I inked up was Pilot Decimo Vanishing Point in blue, and this was also gifted to me by the very same penifactor, and I used Ferris Wheel Press Storied Blue, and this pen was just a joy to write with as well, and you'll see it comes back in this video for the month of May as well. So here we go, my second fill of this Pilot Custom 823 was with Noodler's Zhivago. The first fill was on the 12th, the second fill was on the 17th, and yes, I wrote it dry. This pen is a Parker Urban in orange, even though it's brown, in a medium nib. It was also gifted to me by the anonymous penifactor, and I used Diatramentis Aubergine, and it was a joy to write with as well. Every pen that she sent me was just wonderful and amazing, but I have to say that the Pilot Custom 823 is definitely my favorite, and I know why it is such a favorite among pen people. Next was my Twisby Swipe in Prussian Blue, which was also a gift from my penifactor as well. I've inked it with Monteverde Horizon Blue. It has a fine nib, and I really enjoyed writing with this as well. As a matter of fact, I have it inked up again for my first few pens in my June rotation as well. The next pen is a favorite. Again, the Pilot Custom 823. I inked it up on the 17th and then re-inked it on the 25th, this time with Mont Blanc Toffee Brown. And I really liked that color combination. The next pen was also a gift for my penifactor. It is a Indian pen by Click, and this is in the Michelangelo, and it's absolutely fun. That entire barrel there, this is an eyedropper pen. The entire barrel fills up with ink, and I use Platinum Cassia Black in this pen. Has a really nice nib. I very much enjoyed this pen. And now to the next page. So the next pen that I inked up was my Wingsung 3003 in Smoke and a fine nib. And I inked that up with IWI Color of Nature Waking of Insects, which was a sample that I got from Van Ness. And I'm still writing this one. I have several pens that I'm still writing with right now, and I'm still writing that one away. The next pen was my Hongdian Forest in Rainbow and a fine nib, and I inked that with the shimmering ink Vinta Lacambini from the Fairy Tale line. I think that's how you say it. And it was really pretty. I enjoyed writing with that too. The next was my white Twisby Eco with a fine nib, and that was inked with Colorverse Hayabusa. And it was a full fill, and as you can see, I only have that little bit down there that's dripping around, and I'll finish that out before I wash it. The next pen was my Charcoal Lamy Safari, which I used Birmingham Pen Company's Boiler Steam in it, which that ink, I really enjoyed that ink. That's become a favorite of mine too, and I can't wait to use it again. And we're going back to the Pilot Custom 823 in Amber, which I love, which I inked with Ferris Wheel Press Peter Moss. And that is where it is right now. Back to my blue Pilot Decimo, which I inked with Diatramentis Deepwater Obsession. And another one, back to my Quebeco Sport and Macchiato, which I currently have inked with Robert Oster Hippo Purple, which is a beautiful mauve color. Next is my Wingsung 699 in Amber again, and I have that inked with KWZ Discovery Green, and I'm enjoying comparing my 699 and my 823, and I think if you are interested, I will do a video comparing the two as I write them both dry again. I'm about to ink this baby back up again. It's one of those pens that's going to stay inked, always in my rotation. So as you can see, I inked it up on the 9th, the 12th, the 17th, the 25th, the 25th, and I have just emptied, or it's all done now. And I'm going to be inking that up again today. And here is all the pens that I inked up and used for the month of May. Obviously, I used several of the pens several times, but here it is. I can never do a currently inked because my ink currently just changed, but I do like doing these inks that I used during the month. So I hope you enjoyed.